Guys, I have not been on here in a minute. Who is on? I got on to talk about young Dolph's murder. I've been extremely busy. I had made a commitment that I was going to get on every night if I could, at least every other night, and I have not been able to do that. I kind of wanted to get on here for a few minutes and talk about the hitters behind young Dolph's murder. I think I spoke about this, and I was kind of mum about it. Number one, I worked for the police department, for both departments, for a total of 18 years. And number two, I am still a investigator, a private investigator, and I take a lot of contracted work from the federal government. Okay, so doing investigative work. So I said that I would not get back on here and speak about that case until it was solved. Okay. I pretty much knew, I think I spoke about how even with straight drop and the other young man, and I won't say his name because the young man that we're believing helped him to commit the murder is more than likely the young man. I'll just say that. I was not happy about that to begin with, because you think about, these are young men. Now, they knew what they were doing, of course, because they're adults, young adults. But of course, I was always interested in them getting the hitters that was behind this. Think if you look at some of my, as a matter of fact, I think one night I was kind of drinking some wine and I got on and spoke too much and I deleted the video. Okay, when I looked at it again, I was like, oh my God, I talked too much. So I kind of deleted that video. But my main concern is now, will, when straight drop is caught, will the other young man also, and should I, let me see, should I say this? Because y'all do know that the 16-year-old young man that they had on the news, they're saying that that's not, I don't, that he wasn't involved. But I guess the main concern now, this has been my concern from day one, when I heard that the feds had gotten involved, I already knew that it was a paid hit. My concern now is, will they live to tell who paid them? Because they was paid. Now, I think a lot more stuff is going to be revealed. I see a lot of YouTubers get on and they go, well, YouTube solved the case. Well, within a few days, because a lot of YouTubers that I've been looking at, I think they're just grasping for straws. And when they get on, it's kind of funny. It's entertaining. But the way that the police is able to solve a case, law enforcement, they have to receive help from the public. But when the feds got involved, I knew it was something more sinister, of course. I guess because I am an investigator, I care more about a case being solved rather than getting on here speaking about what I know, because you don't want to tip off the suspects and give them the opportunity to strategize. With the feds, it's always good, like I've said before, because of the intelligence that they have. I'm sure they're probably already in the vicinities of where straight drop is. The good thing about it is the feds got on this case pretty early on. I'm sure they have a lot of messages. The people who think, even if they don't want to tell who actually paid them, they already know. I guess the thing would be now, I guess now the concern is also being able to get him while he's still alive. See, I think with a lot of young men, like straight drop, like the JoJo Splats and things of that nature, they don't understand when they take money to do hits, when it gets hot. I've been saying this. The people who paid them, and I'm hearing it was just crumbs that they was paid, they will knock them off. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure a message has already been sent to them. They already understand the codes of the streets. I'm sure that, I think now getting the people that actually paid them is bigger than even getting them, because you're talking about people that are destroying our youth. Okay, they're messing up our youth. These are young boys that want acceptance. These are young men that probably want record deals. They give them crumbs. They come from hard living. And instead of taking them and putting them up under their wing, like what Dolph was doing, and actually trying to show them how to be millionaires to make a difference in their community, they take them and they give them promises of this and that. They let them into their, I guess, you can be around my circle or something sometimes, and then they send them out to go and take lives. So at this point, the sentiment, I think everybody shares the same sentiment, even the public, is get the people that actually sent these young men out, because in turn they've ruined not only Dolph and his family's life, they've actually ruined these young men's lives. I was looking at JoJo Splat, and I'm not saying I'm not saying anything as far as who the other shooter. It's not my job to put that out there. When the feds are finished, they'll put it out there. But I'll just say, you look at somebody like JoJo Splat, okay? And you see how he's trembling, how he's shaking. That's a 19-year-old child. My children are older than JoJo Splat, okay? He's not handling it too well. Somebody like a straight drop who has actually did some time, no telling what happened to him when he was behind bars, because he went pretty early on. I could tell he really don't have a conscience about it. But will he, in turn, because they're not the only two, well, he's not the only person, that's been, it's a lot of people. And I'm gonna tell you now, they was on top of it from day one. The feds got in pretty early, and with their intelligence, I'm sure they got deleted messages. They're able to tap into these pay and go phones and things of that nature, and actually trace them back. The intelligence is off the chain when it comes to the FBI and the marshals, but especially the FBI. And you have to understand, when the feds are involved, I think, you have people that leak information, but when the feds are involved, it's over. And even if the top person who actually had the money to get these young men to go do what they did, if he's not got, I think a strategy, and a lot of people don't know, well, why they want to do that? Y'all, at this point, we got to stop upholding people that's destroying our youth. If you have the wherewithal, if you've got if you've got the influence, I would say, or the status to help change lives, why not do that? Why send these young men out to destroy their lives, to destroy our community's lives? Because when you're constantly killing up people within our community, you're destroying our community. And it's time for people like that to be taken down, because like I said, they're even worse than the kids that they're sending out to commit these hits and things of that nature. So will straight drop and the other people that were involved in this tell? I think some people are already telling. They already know what has happened. And I think when it's all said and done, with all the people that's going down, this should be a lesson to our youth. Because see, the people with the money might have enough money to poke enough holes in a situation to hire attorneys. They'll be broke when the feds finish with them. You better know that. But still, they would have destroyed lives, because people like the straight drops and things of that nature, they ain't got no money to fight to fight what's ahead of them. They ain't got it. It's too many people that are talking. It's too many people that have been talking. Okay? It's too many people that has been talking. And I think when I got on here and said, when people were saying, well, they're quiet, I said, well, that's how the feds are. they're quiet, and their investigations are perpetual, because when they get you, you through. And they've already zoned in on their targets and things of that nature. They got just about what they need. I can tell you that now for sure. I think now what they're trying to do is make sure when they go and get what they need, first of all, they need straight drop to validate everything that they already know, to just go ahead and put the bow on what they already, the information that they've already gotten of the people that's in the background. And then, I think after that, the communities and Dolph's family, because that's what's important. That's important. The victims' families, his children, and things of that nature, and our community starting, to heal. I was thinking about, Black Youngster, and I don't really like to talk about Black Youngster, but Black Youngster's mother and I grew, I used to be around his mother when I was younger, and Youngster's got her same smile. She was about 12 years old then, because her cousin was my best friend, so we would be together. We would spend the night at my best friend's house, which was her cousin. Youngster has the same smile. She had a nurturing personality because she was a little older than us, and when I look at Youngster's smile right now, I go, dog, he just like his mama, just even as a little girl remembering that. And then I become really sad because I think even with Youngster, with the video that was put out, with me being an investigator, when I know how things go, I think with Youngster, his loyalty is kind of blind. He don't understand that when people allow you to put out things of that nature, especially when cases of this nature is hot, even if he was involved, I'm not saying that he was, I'm not saying that he wasn't. It's not my job to put that out there. But even if he wasn't involved, when people allow you to put out stuff like that, that's a little bit of a betrayal too, if you ask me, because then all the focus is on you. You know what I mean? So people that manipulate know how to play chess, and they've been playing chess with these young kids that are easy, these young men that are easy to manipulate from day one. And it's time for this stuff to stop. Stop destroying our communities. Use your influence to bring up our, or just stay to yourself. Do whatever you're gonna do, but don't keep destroying our kids. And it's gonna be up to us. I'm talking about parents, to validate our children too, so that they don't fall victim and prey to people, the big dogs or whatever that they want to look up to because of promises, false promises. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, a lot of these kids that are being knocked off right now, they're not being knocked off by their opposition. They're being knocked off by the people that are in their camp. They're big dogs that send them out to do these hits. This case has been one of the most, I don't know, like, as long as I've been in this thing, I ain't never in my life, but I think it's happening the way that it is happening because it's connected to a lot of these little crimes that has been going on. I'm gonna take it all. He a crash dummy. I'm gonna take him up under my wing. He poor. He ain't got no guidance or anything like that. So we can make some fake promises to him, and then when it gets too hard, we just knock him off because everybody know he bad in the streets. So your opposition ain't knocking you off. Your big homie them that's sending you out to do these crimes, knocking you off. This thing here with Dolph, I hate that this happened to Dolph, but it has opened up a can of worms on a whole nother level. I was talking to one of my friends one of my partners that's working this thing, he said, God damn, I ain't never in my life. And I've been doing this for years. Never in my life. He said, but then on a whole nother level, it's almost like it's gotta happen so these Negroes can go down. Because they messing up our youth. If you're a big dog and you got a little dude up under you and you know he's got a lot of anger inside of him, because most crash dummies just angry because of whatever has happened in their childhood. It ain't because they bad, oh, he bad here. No, he's just angry. And you know that's misguided anger. And then people use that to destroy their lives more. So in a way, you know, wow, I said I was not going to speak on this, but, you know, I think when straight drop is found, it's just going to put the bow on everything that's already tied, because people have already been talking. They've been talking from day one. A lot of times people go along with stuff because they are in fear. But once they are guaranteed that safety, they start talking. And people have been talking. And one thing about the feds, I be bragging about their intelligence. I'm telling you right now, you just can't, you just don't get out of stuff with them. And they got it. The FBI got everything. Anytime you can have anytime you can have a equipment where you can where you can point at a person's house and see straight through the house, they don't, you know, they good, you know, they're not lacking at all on what they need. But I think at this point they're trying to make sure that the more sinister thing does not get away. And at this point they got to stop destroying our children. If y'all want to help these kids, help them, you know, help them. Teach them how to be businessmen. Don't bring them up under your wing and then they're still living in the projects. Don't make them feel they need to prove themselves by going and destroying their communities, because you garbage when you do stuff like that. And guess what happened to garbage? It's always taken out. So at this point, I think that, you know, people are tired to include the police, the feds, and people like that, and they get ready to take the garbage out on all of the garbage that has been destroying our communities. And so you know, with straight drop, he just needs to go on, and hopefully he'll turn himself in. Hopefully he'll be alive when he turns himself in. But if he gets taken out, it won't be by dolph's people. You know, he went and they stood there and they shot that boy like that. And then you run and hide. That's not gangster. You deal with what you did. And also, it's okay to tell on the people that sent you, because those are the people that ultimately destroyed your life. They're destroying lives. They use you. So it ain't nothing wrong with that. Because if they don't get them, as somebody was telling me, the only thing they're going to do is wait till this stuff, you know, blow over. And then they're going to start, they're going to send some more kids out, like they did with Straight Drop and you know, the other young men. Be trying not to say names. And here's the thing with the cookie shop. You know, when people was running with that narrative with the cookie shop, I never thought the cookie shop was involved. I don't think the police ever thought that the cookie shop was involved. As far as the owners, I don't know who works in that cookie shop. I do know that they have some employees that are not related to them, because that's what businesses do. They hire people. But I don't think the owners per se had anything to do. I never thought that. I'm not saying that all of the employees in there are clean. I just don't think that the owners. I don't think that the young lady had anything to do with it, the owner's daughter. I don't, you know. But like I said, if Straight Drop and the other guys go down and they don't tell on the people that sent them out to do this, then it's a travesty of justice yet and still. So, you know, yeah. Anyways, that's somebody sending me a text message. Let me get off of here. I said I was gonna start getting on here more, but you know, I'm always out in the field working. But I want you guys to, but I am gonna start getting on here more. It's just that I've been, I've been busy like crazy. But I want you guys to have a good day. Maybe I'll get back on tonight. Talk to you later.